Hello there, welcome to News from Nepal Television. I am Smithu Gising Tamang. Let's begin with the top stories for this afternoon. Election Commission issues a 4-point directive for effective security management in the upcoming HOR and Provincial Assembly election, directs Home Ministry to make available posting details of security heads. Meets of House of Representatives underway, endorsement of Nepal Citizenship Act Amendment Bill among the agendas. Russian forces launches attacks on Ukrainian ammunition depots and fuel depots in multiple places, says Russian Defense Ministry. Ukraine military official says its forces successfully stopped the advance. And the South Asian Football Federation SAF decides to wait a week for India's participation in the SAF Women's Championship to be held in Nepal. Welcome back. Now the news in detail. The Election Commission on Wednesday issued a 4-point directive to the government for the effective security management of the election to the House of Representatives and Provincial Assembly scheduled for November 30. The EC has asked the Office of the Prime Minister and Council of Ministers and Home Ministry to prepare a security plan and provide it to EC as per the Section 4 of the Election Commission Act 2073. Similarly, it has directed the government to prepare a detailed security plan ensuring the smooth voting at all polling centres, as well as to make effective arrangement for the deployment of security personnel. EC spokesperson Shaligram Sharma Paudel said a directive has also been issued to inform all security agencies about the action to be taken as per the Election Act in case there is obstruction in voting in the polling centre, making provision of mobilization of retired security personnel in case additional security force is required, among others. Meanwhile, Election Commission has issued directive to the Ministry of Home Affairs to make available posting details of the heads of security bodies, including chief district officers. The Commission has directed to submit the details by September 10th as inter-body coordination is important for effective security arrangements. However, the press release issued by Shaligram Sharma Paudel, the spokesperson of the Commission, stated their role will be important in monitoring and election security committees in the districts. Nepal's Citizenship Act Amendment Bill, returned by President Bidyadevi Bhandari for reconsideration, is going to be passed today. According to the decision of the ruling coalition, the Parliament has prepared to pass the bill. The meeting of the House of Representatives is underway this afternoon. The President returned the bill with the message to the House of Representatives on August 14. On August 15, the message of withdrawal of the bill was submitted to the House of Representatives. Albeit the parties in the power coalition sent the bill for reconsideration, they agreed to proceed as it is. According to the decision of the coalition and the request of the government, Home Minister Balkrishna Kand will submit a proposal in the House of Representatives today to consider the bill that came back with the message. Following the same, there will be a discussion based on the topics raised in the message. After the discussion, the bill will be passed. The Parliament Secretariat has already published the possible agenda of those who will present the proposal for the citizenship bill to be passed. Earlier, it was passed by both houses and sent to the President for verification on 14th August. However, President Bhandari drew attention to some arrangements and sent it back for reconsideration. 4-point agreement has been reached among the local residents and the administration to remove the frequent obstacles in waste management and disposal at the Bancharedana landfill site. In a meeting held yesterday among the chief district officers of Kathmandu, Nuwakot and Dhading and the local people's representatives and the chief administrative officer of the Kathmandu metropolitan city, 4 points were agreed to end the Bancharedana obstacle. Sunil Lamsal, waste management consultant of Kathmandu Metropolis, informed that it was agreed that vehicles carrying garbage should not leak residues on the road deodorized medicine should be sprinkled daily where garbage is piled up on the hill, and waste should not be dumped randomly. He claims that after the agreement, waste management will become easier. Similarly, it has been agreed to implement the agreement reached on May 20th and to end the current obstacles in waste management. It was also agreed in the meeting that the statement issued by the heads of the local organizations of Nepali Congress, CPN Maoist Center and CPN Unified Socialist in Dhunibesi municipality, saying that they will not allow garbage to be thrown from August 17, was also agreed in the meeting. Time for a break now. We shall be back with more updates. Do stay tuned. Welcome back. You're with English News on Nepal Television, and now the remaining updates. Nepal recorded a total of 852 new coronavirus cases on Wednesday. No death relating to the virus was reported in the period. According to the Ministry of Health and Population, new cases of infection were confirmed from over 6,883 swab sample tests across the country. Out of the confirmed cases, 531 were detected through the PCR and 321 were detected through the antigen method. With this, a total recorded case has reached 5,462 now in the country. 328 infected patients are recovered in the same period. And now the international update. Russian forces launched attacks on Ukrainian ammunition depots and fuel depots in multiple places, said the Russian Defense Ministry on Wednesday. Meanwhile, Ukraine military officials said that its forces successfully stopped the advance of Russian troops in Slavyansk and other directions. In addition, the Russian Air Defense Forces shot down several Ukrainian drones in the Donetsk region and the Kharkiv region and intercepted the attacks of the Tochka-U tactical missiles and the Hurricane multiple rocket launchers. The General Staff of the Ukrainian Armed Forces said on the same day that the Russian forces used tanks, artillery and other weapons to launch attacks in Kramatorsk, Slavyansk, Kharkiv, Zaporizhia and other directions. Among them, the Russian army tried to break through the defense line in the direction of Kharkiv but was forced to retreat. In addition, the advance of the Russian army in the direction of Slavyansk and Bakhmut was also unsuccessful, said the Ukrainian side. Argentina's trade union federation mobilized in Buenos Aires on Wednesday to demonstrate against big corporations amid the rising cost of living. This was the first protest led by the General Confederation of Labor, CGT, in the 3 years of Alberto Fernandez's presidency. With historical ties to Peronism, the organization clarified the street call was not against the government. However, they did call attention to the lack of effective measures to control the rise in prices. Analysts forecast a price increase of more than 90% by 2022. The escalating prices, particularly in foodstuffs, are exacerbating the economic crisis, which was seeing poverty levels rise to include 40% of Argentina's population. Portuguese firefighters were battling multiple wildfires on Wednesday while the country is bracing for yet another heat wave in the coming days. A violent blaze continued to roar in the area of Caldas da Rainha, a city some 90 kilometers north from the capital Lisbon. Portuguese authorities announced Wednesday one firefighter had died after suffering a heart attack while tackling the flames. Fire Chief David Lopeto said his team hopes to contain the fire within the next day, with more than 400 personnel involved in the operation. Also on Wednesday, crews were gaining control of a wildfire that has scorched large swaths of pine forest in the Serra de Estrela National Park for the past 12 days. High temperatures, strong winds and a severe drought have helped sustain the biggest blaze of the summer, with the area's deep ravines and steep hills making firefighting difficult. The government warned that a third summer heat wave would tighten its grip on the country from Saturday. Time again for a break. We shall see you at the other side with more updates. Welcome back, and now the remaining updates. A legal battle over abortion rights pitting one of the reddest states in the nation against the U.S. government has dozens of states and major medical associations seeking to weigh in. 20 states, Washington, D.C., the American College of Emergency Physicians, the American College of Obstetricians and Gynecologists, the American Academy of Pediatrics, and others are among those to have filed friend of the court briefs as of Wednesday, siding with the federal government's claims that Idaho's near total abortion ban violates federal health care law. The Idaho abortion ban makes performing nearly any abortion a felony, but allows physicians to defend themselves in court by showing that the procedure was necessary to save a patient's life. The Federal Emergency Medical Treatment and Labor Act requires Medicaid-funded hospitals to provide stabilizing treatment to patients experiencing medical emergencies, and the U.S. Department of Justice says that includes some abortions. Major updates lined up at the other side, but before that, let's take a look at what we have coming up next. President Xi Jinping on Wednesday afternoon inspected the city of Shenyang, the capital of northeast China's Liaoning province, stressing the importance of promoting scientific and technological innovation among enterprises and strengthening community-level party building and community services. During his inspection, Xi, also General Secretary of the Communist Party of China (CPC) Central Committee and Chairman of the Central Military Commission, visited Xiasun Robot and Automation Company and Mudan community of Santaizi neighborhood in Huanggu district. Xi started his inspection tour of Liaoning on Tuesday with the first stop in Jinzhou city. Now the sports update. The South Asian Football Federation (SAF) has decided to wait a week for India's participation in the SAF Women's Championship to be held in Nepal. FIFA issued a statement last Tuesday and suspended the Football Association of India due to interference from a third party. If FIFA's decision has not changed, only 6 teams will participate in the SAF Women's Championship to be held in Nepal this month. SAF has already announced the group division and match schedule for the SAF Championship to be held at Dashrath Stadium from 6 to 9 September. If India does not participate, the match will be played according to the new schedule. Bangladesh, Maldives and Pakistan will be in Group A after India has been eliminated. Earlier in the 5th edition of SAF Women's Championship held in Biratnagar, Nepal had lost to India in the final. Nepal Army has entered the men's quarterfinals of the first National Open basketball tournament. Army defeated Kirtipur by 101-85 points in the hall of host Nakiput Youth Club. With the win, Army has become the winner of Group B. Ayush Singh added 44 points for Army. After trailing 26-29 in the first quarter, Army remained ahead in the rest. In other quarters, Army scored 26-11, 22-20 and 27-25 respectively. In the men's category, Golden Gate also reached the quarterfinals. Golden Gate defeated Sankardev Campus 73-63 and became the winner of Group A. And before we say goodbye, the reminder of our top stories. Election Commission issues a 4-point directive for effective security management in the upcoming HOR and Provincial Assembly election, directs Home Ministry to make available posting details. Meet of House of Representatives underway, endorsement of Nepal Citizenship Act Amendment Bill among the agendas. Russian forces launches attacks on Ukrainian ammunition depots and fuel depots in multiple places. Ukraine military official says its forces successfully stopped the advance. And the South Asian Football Federation SAF decides to wait a week for India's participation in the SAF Women's Championship to be held in Nepal. That's it for this edition of NTV News. We shall be back with the next one at 6 this evening. Till then, goodbye. Namaste.